Hey guys, welcome back to the corner, and I wanted to do a quick little video tutorial. My camera is freaking it is Monday. I might go live later today. We will see. I wanted to show you how I made this little pocket here. You can glue it to your junk journal pages, or you can leave it open like this and insert it into a journal. I'll be giving a preview of this later. Let's see here. So here it is in the center of my signature, and you can see my ribbon in the middle there. Basically what I did was leave it undone when I sewed my signature in, and then I added score tape and glue across the side there and stuck it together when my signature was done. Makes a great tuck spot, and I think it's adorable. So I'm going to show you how to make two different types. You can make it like this, and then I'll show another way. So I'm just going to pick a paper here. We'll go ahead and use this one for one of them. I love this paper pack. This paper pack is really pretty. So we use that for one, and I think we'll use this one for the smaller one. Miss Mary would love that one. She loves sunflowers. Alright, so what you're going to need is a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can do it with a ruler. You need a cutting board, or you can use scissors and a ruler, or a blade, craft blade or something. So the size you want, oh, and a ruler. Don't forget the ruler, Spanky. So the size you want your paper is going to be 5 1/4 inches, like that, by right around 6 inches. So 5 1/4 by 6. So let me cut. This is going to be the small pattern. So we're going to switch out my blade here. Oh, I don't want that. I want my other, there it is. I want to use my other cutting board. This one. I have to switch the blade out on this one anyway, so it don't matter. Stick that there. Okay. So what I say? 5 1/4 by 6. So this. All right. Yes. Double checking. So this piece is going to be 5 1/4 by 6. So you can get 2 out of one section that you cut. And I will cut that there. Okay. So we'll move that out of the way. Now the next thing we're going to do is get our scoreboard here. As you see, this is the same size. So what we're going to do is we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. I believe it's a half. Let me look here. No, it is just under, so it's 1, 2, 3/8. Yeah, 3/8 on the scoreboard here. I'm never good at these. It always bounces around. Not one of my favorite scoreboards, so. And I always flip it around and do the other side, because sometimes it's easier. Oops. Come on. I should use my cutter that has the score tool on it. Probably be a little easier. And then we're going to score at 3 inches, going on the long side. So you're going to lay your paper at the 6-inch side up, and then you're going to score at 3. And we're going to fold that in half here. Alright, we're done with that. So then what you're going to do is pick which side you want to use for your front or back. And you're going to open this up. This is where you need some scissors. And you can see my score lines here. So what we're going to do is cut the score line off the bottom. So when you're looking at it, you have a top and a bottom. So we're going to cut our score line, and let me get a pencil here. Right there is where my lines are. So what I'm going to do is cut at an angle on both sides. And then I'm going to trim this piece off. So that piece is going to be trimmed off. We won't have that on here no more. You can use your scoreboard to do it. I am actually going to use my cutting mat. Okay. It's up to you what you use. You can use whatever you'd like. Making sure I line up right. Okay. And then over to the other side. I used my my cutting board the last time, but it doesn't matter what you use. You can cut it if you'd like. So then we have it like this. Let me get a piece of paper here. I got a piece of chipboard here, it'll be easier. Okay. So now that we have that cut, we're going to trim these 2 corners off also. So we're going to go just at where the score line is right here. And we're going to just trim it at a slight angle like this. You don't have to trim it if you don't want to. I find it a little bit easier in doing so. So then we fold those over. And now you can leave it like this. You can trim one side, or this is where you would decide which punch you want to use. Actually, I think I'm going to go with my scalloped. And I'm just going to stick it in just a little bit, just enough. Try and center it. And then I'm going to chop that out. So that's what we have. So you can glue it like this and leave it like that, or leave it open so that way when you sew it into your signatures, you can access the center. I like to put them in the middle because then when you close it, it's like an envelope. You can hide your middle thing. Now, so there's that way. If you want to make a bigger one to where you could put it through a different area of your signature, we'll use this paper here. Let's see here. So it's 12 by 12. All right. You want to decide how big you want your envelope to be. And I think I'm going to go at I think it's at 2. I haven't done this in a while. I'm trying to remember. Okay, if I hold it there. Depending on how big you want it. Basically, you're gonna have a big section in the middle, and then you're gonna score 2 smaller sections on the side. So if I don't want to waste a lot of paper, I would do it about that size, or you can trim off. I'm gonna do it at there, so we're just gonna mark that here, and then I don't think I want that big of one, so we're going to go to about there, and then I will trim this excess off after I get my lines scored. So let's see here. I'm going to squirt this one and squirt that. I don't need this again yet. I will. Oh, if you have a bone puller, you can use your bone puller. And then this is a really good way also to send mail to somebody. So I know oh, I lined that up almost perfect. So I know my piece goes here, so I am actually going to find a pencil here. And I'm just going to mark it on the inside right about there. So here's that's where it ends on this side. What I'm going to do, if you're finicky on centering, like you don't have to have it wonky, you could make it in the middle. That's up to you. So what I'm going to do is that's where this lines up. So what I'm going to do is go over about a ½ inch from that line. And we're going to go this way. Okay. So my line is here, and I want to go a ½ inch from that line. So what I'm going to do is, there's my cut line. And I'm just going to move it over a tad. It's probably more or less of a ½ inch. I'm not being picky. Like so. And if you look, I have, it's about ¼ inch. So that's what I have. I showed this once before, but so what you're going to do is figure out where your bottom's going to go. And get your scoreboard out again. You can either have it as a bottom, or as, what I'm going to do is make it look like 2 envelopes on the end, and I will put Velcro so they open up. So what I'm going to do is I want about 1.5 inches. So I will find my center. So then I kind of have an idea of how big this will be. Now this, mind you, is for like the center or inside a journal. You can include it into a journal. If you don't want to include it into a journal, then you wouldn't do this step. And I'm going to go about here. So I'm going to turn it around and get right there. So now I have them score lines. What I'm going to do is cut these corner pieces out. And when I do the center, I will take my ruler, and where the point is, I'm just going to go over about 1/4 of an inch or so from, let me make my line here. So it's easier for you to see. Alright, so here's my line, my cut line. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch over. So I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch on each side. And then I'm going to make a line connecting that. You can do it by the eyeball if you want, but I like doing it like this. So what we're going to do is everything with an X is what we're going to cut off. We're going to cut this off. So I'll come over to my other end here. So you can either use a ruler and your blade and trim that off. Not that one. I'd trim it off like that. Or you can use your scissors. I'll probably just use my scissors for this. Like that. I kind of like to go in sequence. I don't know why. Alright, and then we will trim these larger ends off. That I like to use my cutting board, or my think of it, Spanky, my cutting mat. Cutting board. Mat. If you're very careful, you can do it. I just find it easier. I can just tell when I gotta stop. I just line it up on my piece. And we'll just go up to there. Raise it up, and I'll come up at the top. And there. And I'll flip it over. You can use your scissors. I don't cut straight. Even if I follow a line, I still don't cut straight. So the same thing. How far up? Just a little bit more. There we go. Didn't get it all the way to the edge there, so I have to move it up just a tad. There we go. There we go. That's better. And then down at the bottom. There we go. Now what I like to do is round my corners on these. I like to use the 1/4 inch. You can use any. Actually, this ain't gonna work, is it? Probably not. Yeah, not too much. Okay. I have to get out my other corner rounder, and I don't know where it's at. But it gives it a little bit of an edge. You don't have to do this. I guess if I shove it in there a little bit further, it'll work. Come on. And you can distress your edges to make it look neater. So you can actually make this as a regular envelope even, and then just, you know, slide stuff in there. So what I'm going to do is grab, I have this little Velcro pieces, and then I'm not going to distress the edges on this. I like the bright of it. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch score tape or an 1/8 inch. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's a 1/4. Okay, yes. And I'm going on my long side. You can do either side. You can have it on the short side or on the long side. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take my score tape and line it across the top here. And I will go off just a tad because I can trim that piece off. It's just easier than tearing it for me. So just do that. Okay. Got tape stuck on my finger. Come on. Okay. You can use glue if you want to. And I'm going to burnish that down. And then move that out of the way so I have a flat surface. And then I'm just going to fold it over and press it. And that's it. So this would be for in a journal. But, so you would just, I would figure out, you can do those figure 8 string ones. Like the security envelopes, you could do those. Or I like to use Velcro sometimes, so you can use Velcro, you can use magnets, whichever, or you can just leave it like it is. So there we have 2 different styles of pockets that you can do for your your junk journals, or even an envelope. I actually like making the envelope ones. So that would go in the center of my journal. And you have a spot for pockets. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!